Why do they need those armored vehicles? I mean, think this through. Right? If you have a .50 caliber rifle, they're calling you a terrorist. All the gun control organizations, you have a .50 caliber rifle, that's got to be taken away from you. And they've got this fellow, this guy over here in the black ninja outfit, and he has one. What's he going to do with that? Most of these towns are so small that the .50 caliber rifle will shoot across the town. Well, they have another plan in mind. Well, they have another scenario in mind. Right? And this is the only response to that scenario. Because once this organization takes place, we don't need them anymore. The rationalization for their program evaporates. Not only that, once this is organized properly, what happens to all those police agencies? All those little SWAT teams in Nowhere City? They'd be, there you go. See, I didn't even have to open up this book. I didn't even have to show you anything more about this. You learn that yourself. That's the beauty of our Constitution. It's so simple. They all become parts of the militia. Now maybe they're uniformed, you know, give them a little panache, they can wear a different uniform, and they have their own little building and so forth. But they're parts of the militia. And what's the next step there? They're subject to whose control? Yeah, they're subject to the militia control, which ends all police brutality and oppression. Because if it happens on Monday, they're up on the court, they're investigated on Tuesday, they're up on the court-martial on Wednesday, they have their appeal on Thursday, and they're punished on Friday. And the first time that happens, the rest of it ends. They get away with it now because the prosecutors don't go after them, the judges don't go after them, because that's a little clique that goes on. The prosecutors want these people to do certain things for them. I won't suggest what those things might be. And the judges are perfectly willing to go along with it. And it's all because this entity doesn't exist anymore. So we solve that problem. And then if the crisis does come, let's assume you're in the sequence of organizing this, and you haven't gotten to the stage yet where the statute is actually enacted. But you might have in a large state 10, 15, 20,000 people organized. And for each one of those individuals, you might have another 5, because for instance in my family, let's assume that I was the member of the Citizens Homeland Security Association. My wife wouldn't have to come. My 3 teenage boys wouldn't have to come. My adult boy wouldn't have to come. I've already told them all this 1,000 times. I don't have to hear this again. Right? We have 6 other people. So you multiply the number of people in this group, in these groups, by whatever, and you come up with a huge number. So that if the catastrophic event occurs, before this has happened, you nevertheless have already organized some response to it. Notice how this is different from doing most lobbying activity. Some little group gets together, gets its email list out, some bill that they want to pass or they want to oppose. It gets this little bill out, boom, the bill is passed or the bill is opposed or what have you. Does that group really stay together? All those people that wrote those letters or sent those emails or made those calls? No, they go back to their ordinary activity. And then it has to be reorganized again for the next bill. And again, and again, and again. And there is never any permanent structure here performing functions with, one of the important words, performing functions with legal authority. This is the difference between this type of a structure and those folks running around the woods calling themselves militias. They have no legal authority. They may not be illegal. A lot of what they do is perfectly legal. They're associating in a private group, and they might be going to a gun range or training themselves this way or that way. But they have no legal authority. The constitutional militia has legal authority. In fact, it's the only institution that the Constitution says is given the responsibility to execute the laws. That's a fascinating point, isn't it?